Biden wants to bring back sending monthly checks to parents and make the programs permanent. This just coming out today. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest as he unveiled his new budget I let you know about. But this raises the question, if he's bringing back child tax credits, what about those Social Security increases? We heard that Bernie Sanders brought that proposal. Is there going to be any traction? Will that get passed in Congress? What about the fourth federal level stimulus checks of $2,000 that people have been waiting for literally years? Feels like none of these are going to get done, but we're starting to see child tax credits and Social Security. They have been brought back to the forefront. Now, also in this speech, making headlines is Biden said Trump might be the president in 2024. Now, he said it jokingly, but take a look.
I was running for office at the time, but you all may remember it, that I had a big fight with the former president and maybe future president. Bless me, Father. Anyway, no, all kidding aside.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But as I mentioned to you, he said that he wants child tax credits back, monthly payments to parents, and he wants it to be permanent. Now, in addition to that, he released all of his wish list on the budget. Take a look. Biden's budget would cut the deficit by $3 trillion over the next decade, with 25% minimum tax on the richest Americans. This just coming out 42 minutes ago. Now, in addition to that, I've been letting you guys know that I've been keeping an eye on the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, the COVID money tracker, and they're letting us know that legislative action passed from Congress, there is still $500 billion just sitting there, untouched, untapped, that they could access to help provide maybe funding for these child tax credits, maybe Social Security increases, maybe let go of those stimulus checks that were promised several years ago. And if you take a look here, you can see that direct payments, that third stimulus check of $1,400 that went out, that had a price tag of roughly $411 billion. And we've got $500 billion, which means that we could send out a fourth bigger check than the third to everybody in the nation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, let me get you caught up on the latest as this just came out today. More details are being released and President Biden is saying, let's bring it back. So let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, don't forget, smash that like button for me. Just takes a second, helps out a ton. Thank you so much. And if you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not come join the Ram fam? All you got to do is very quickly hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. I'll keep you up to speed on everything going on. And if you want a comprehensive list of every single stimulus check in the nation, you can find it at www.reliefroadmap.com, where I compiled a list of over 100 different stimulus checks for states, cities, and counties. Took me 3 months, but it is there for you if you're interested. And there's some states like Ohio, I think, where I didn't find anything, but there are some states like California where I've got a list of over 25 different stimulus checks. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in to get you caught up on the latest. As President Biden today has said, bring back the child tax credits, the monthly payments to parents, and make it permanent. All right, so as always, link in the description below to this article. I cite all my sources, put them on the screen, read right from them, so that way you can see for yourself that this is the latest. And it says that Biden wants to bring back sending monthly checks to parents, and he wants to make the program permanent. Now, this article says that President Joe Biden's funding wish list, it's out today, and it has some good news for parents. Now, on Thursday, today, Biden unveiled his budget proposal for fiscal year 2024, which outlines his investment priorities in federal agencies for the upcoming year. It aims to cut the deficit by nearly $3 trillion over 10 years, and it includes a revival of his previous tax proposals, like a minimum billionaires tax and higher corporate taxes, as well as restoration of the expanded child tax credit. Now, Biden's American Rescue Plan gave $3,000 per child to families with children over the age of 6 and $3,600 per child to families with children under the age of 6. Now, the ARP also paid out the tax credit in monthly checks rather than as a part of the annual tax refund. So that's why you got them in advance, and you would get those monthly checks every single month. You would get that payment for your children. However, the expansion of the credit expired in December of 2021 due to Republican opposition and pushback from conservative Democratic Senator Joe Manchin. Now, the president wants to restore the program fully. Now, this president clearly believes that the way to grow the economy is to invest in the middle class and working families, and that we have to grow the economy from the bottom up and the middle out, said Shalonda Young, director of the United States Office of Management and Budget. The child tax credit proved to be formidable in its goals of reducing poverty, feeding 2 million children, and keeping 3 million total children out of poverty in just the first month of the credit's existence. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, child poverty fell to a record low of 5.2% in 2021, declining from 2020's 9.7% rate because of the monthly checks sent out to parents. So they said this was one of the most impactful programs they have ever had in reducing child poverty. Now, in total, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, the child tax credit expansion lifted 2.9 million children out of poverty, with 1 million of those children under the age of 6. Maggie Lopez, a single mother in Texas, previously told Insider that the checks meant some breathing room for her and her newborn. However, after efforts to expand or prolong the credit fell short, child poverty skyrocketed in 2022. Now, the Biden administration wants to turn that around. When you look at this president's view of the world and what this budget puts forward, it shows you what he values. That's what this is going to be about, Young said. Several Democratic lawmakers have also pushed for the expanded child tax credit to be renewed. Late last year, some of the senators were eyeing an extension of the credit in the year-end legislative package, and Senator Michael Bennet of Colorado, an architect of the ARP's expanded credit, telling Insider at the time, "I think that we should not be extending tax cuts for American corporations if we're not going to be extending tax cuts for American children." Still, Biden's budget proposal is just that, a proposal. So just to clarify, all of the taxation that is being proposed, all of the credits, none of this is official. This is just his wish list, his proposal. We're going to be seeing how Congress responds to all this. With Republicans holding a majority in the House, it's unlikely the president's request will be approved, but it does reflect issues that the administration wants to prioritize as it nears the end of its first term. It also comes as GOP lawmakers are eyeing a deal to raise the debt ceiling and keep the U.S. on top of paying its bills, but they have yet to produce a specific plan for doing so as the country inches closer to a catastrophic default. As the president has made clear, they owe the American people a detailed accounting of exactly what they plan to cut in order to cover the costs of their proposal, while also achieving the kinds of fiscal targets that they claim to support, the White House budget fact sheet said. Until they produce a plan, it added, we're left to rely on a wide array of Republican budgets, statements, and proposals, past and present, which provide clear and consistent evidence that many critical programs the American people count on will be on the chopping block. But we have heard that Social Security and Medicare are two programs that are not on the chopping block. I've let you know all the details. There was a ton of talk about this. I'll let you know about the State of the Union address where it exploded on the topic. They said those will not be cut, but everything else they're saying could be game. Now, we'll be seeing what unfolds here, and I shared with you all the details of that budget bill, and man, taxes, taxes, taxes. If you're one of the wealthiest Americans, get ready for taxes. They're saying there's going to be some major taxation that is proposed. Now, I covered all the details. I had a list of 9 different ones that were released in an article, and I covered them in detail in this video right here. So if you missed that one, check it out next, and you guys will be seeing how Congress responds to this and what unfolds, and whatever does, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. But with that being said, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.